Okay, I'm gonna start screen recording.
Wait, are we doing the video now? What?
We're starting the video. I'm just testing out some audio things.
Oh, fuck.
Should I just have a random picture of Olympics that giant light fixture in the Olympics lounge? I don't know if that's 16 by 9 or not.
I want that. I want
Okay,
that. Send me
I'm gonna
that.
select that. Game capture.
I know I have a habit of, like, just being a bit crass and stupid, but I think you would definitely agree with me.
Right side Titanic. I can't spell. Of course, I wish I could show my insane typing skills, but no, I keep messing up.
Wait a second. Literally, wait a second.
Oh wait, why am I liking? No.
Wait a split second.
It's just my instinct to like videos every single time the second I click on them. So I like the video. Yeah, I don't really understand people. I haven't really heard anyone actually say it legitimately that a U-boat torpedoed the ship, but
I think that's just clickbait, honestly.
I think that's just like it's just clickbait. I don't really think anyone legitimately believes a U-boat torpedoed the ship, or at least I hope not.
Yeah. Why? For me, it just says click to exit full screen, like it isn't streaming the full screen.
It isn't streaming in full screen?
Yeah, it won't work.
Oh, so you can't, if I go full screen, you can't, it won't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a problem?
It probably isn't. Today we have a very special video, watching bright side videos on Titanic. So there could be.
To break the fourth wall.
Yeah, we can break the fourth wall here and there. Come on, load.
And it's loading.
Oh, because I haven't.
Oh my god, it's the light bulb.
Have you ever met a person who hasn't ever heard the story of Titanic?
Yes.
Unlikely. He described what happened on his journey to America.
Love that
the most
moustache, by the
famous
way.
ship in the world. In
It's very small. It kind of reminds me of a certain funny mustache man that I shouldn't probably. I'm not going to say the name of. I wonder.
You're two sad little whiskers.
I'm wondering what the team behind Brightside thinks when they're putting together these videos. Because you'll see, I did see one part of one of the videos, which we'll watch after this one, which had me laughing so hard because I just clicked a random. I was just like, okay, I'll scrub through a random part for testing purposes, and then I just went to a random part of the video, and I just see. You'll see when we get to that part later on.
He learned that the nearest ship
Very
departing for the
corporate
New World
animation
was
style.
the Titanic.
The corporate animation
the
style. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fit like Titanic or historical events like this. Really, this modern day animation style.
I know this is a complete nitpick, but like, and I understand he's trying to get.
That's fine. My channel is at least basically all of my videos are just nitpicking.
Yeah. First of all, the Titanic's nameplate wasn't there, and also, why is the entire rudder red?
I don't know. The railing is just
Anyway,
like
let's continue.
red outline.
It's like I'm playing Mirror's Edge.
I've never played Mirror's Edge before.
It will cost a lot.
Orient Express.
Which everyone was talking
Oh,
about.
frick! No full
He
screen.
was pretty whom he shared cabin 804. They were two
Cabin
Englishmen
804.
and a French guy from Alsace named
Should we
Morin.
check this?
Because
Cabin 804. That's not really listed on deck plans. The cabins are just like, for example,
No, I mean,
B04 or
should we
B4,
find this guy?
B10.
Should we find this guy on, like...
Sure. What's his name?
isn't
Oh,
even that name.
beer. Oh, I think I said something. Beer. Vag. Oh. Vaghinak.
You need to get rid of that D.
Vad.
Get rid of the
Vag. Oh, yeah, Vag.
back.
Hinat. Burat.
none of them could possibly imagine
Is it
what would
actually? I'm
become
actually
of the unsinkable ship just days later.
Gosh.
They went to bed rather late.
I'm wonder how many times the Brightside is gonna say Titanic is the unsinkable ship. I'm wondering. I'm actually gonna edit that in post production. How many times it says unsinkable ship or like, yeah. Let's see.
I hate to break it to you, no ship is unsinkable. Even a ship, there was a ship that was made entirely out of cork, which is notorious for floating, and that managed to get waterlogged and sink.
Yeah.
It's like,
The Englishmen were jolted from their bunks by a strong push. One of them injured his head, and another one his arm. The young men tried to find out
I hate this modern look for Titanic. It makes it feel like it's if it's the set is of Titanic like 2 or Titanic 666 or something.
the thing, this, like, I know, so, look here, I don't watch Brightside, I'm not...
Me neither.
I'm not a dumbass. And just so far, what I can see is that him and a lot of other, like, clickbait channels have the very corporate art style for their videos. It's like they've made it on, like, Adobe After Effects or, like, Doodly.
was going underwater.
Yes.
Canuck noticed the sailors were getting the lifeboats out and commanded they were only for
Look at that. That lifeboat. Look at those people.
Silhouettes, how many are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. I mean, I guess that's okay, but it's just the poses they're in.
It's representative.
Just generic people. Just searched up people on Google.com.
but gunshots were fired off to prevent them from doing so.
This is all taking place on the stern. In reality, all of these events are taking. In reality, all these events took place on the bow.
And I believe
the
it's
gunshots.
bow, not the port bow. Am I right in saying that?
I don't remember, to be honest. It was either it was probably both, but I think it was the starboard side. Or yeah, starboard side. You just have to be lucky, like Rose. You just have to. They're the Jack and Rose.
like getting a
That's
door
Jack. He has the outfit. That's Rose. They're gonna go down on. They're gonna go down on this ship, and they're gonna find a piece of floating debris, and one of them he's gonna die. He's gonna be picked up.
They're gonna have a door which is clearly big enough for both of them, and then only one is gonna get on, and they're gonna in Hollywood style go, only one of us can fit on.
Maybe. Well, there's a Vsauce video made on why the door, even though it was large enough, it probably wouldn't have been able to support both of them just because of the weight distribution.
Fair enough.
Hope for survival was a lifeboat. He was about
Why
to
are you
faint,
watching
and it wasn't
Brightside?
getting any
Because oh boy, we have someone who joined in the call. It's for a video that we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing a video.
Oh yeah, this one, Vagonat Burat.
Yeah, we're doing a
We're
video.
reacting
You can
to Brightside
you can join in if you want. It'll make the video better. But yeah,
Alright.
you just watch my stream because you can be in the video or whatever. I don't know. Let me go back to the thing.
Alright. Are you recording the video now?
Yeah, we are. I have been recording the video for a while.
Ah. Sorry, did I ruin it?
No, it's fine. It'll make it more
It's a
interesting.
reaction.
Yeah.
warmer in the water. Just then,
Hey,
he bumped into something. It was
Violet
a
Jessup.
Sorry, I'm gonna.
But if you're hoping for a happy end,
Why is that woman wearing a tiara?
it was so overcome.
I'm telling you, they're just pulling the most generic human images they can find.
Begged for help. The next evening, the ship made it to New York.
Carpathia.
That's the
Without his
Carpathia.
passport or money,
Oh, you'll see later on when they try to do for Carpathia. Literally, look. This is foreshadowing. This is just their same Titanic model, except they lopped off the superstructure and just removed 2 or 3 funnels. This is foreshadowing. The story feels very interesting. I feel like it's a hoax. Wait. I cannot. Hello, claims Wagner Bureau. I don't know how to make this. It was intended as some sort of fantasy hoax and no place on it. There's no cabin as 804 on Titanic. Cabins were designed by the deck. Yes, I was just saying that. I was just using that exact example. There was also a passerless person at a time. I'm not a moderator. Maybe this is SK. I found some information. Bureau, first class, second, third class. Oh my gosh! Literally, the story is a hoax. Apparently, oh
Oh
my!
my god.
I'm not gonna get that. That's ugly. their information search passenger lists and found no listings of anyone named.
As a great storyteller, he shared what happened to him many times. Interestingly, he's never mentioned an iceberg hitting the Titanic and always spoke about an explosion. If what he said was true, something must have caused that huge explosion.
Oh my gosh! Literally, because he said because he literally couldn't remember. He said, it doesn't really seem like an iceberg. I was in my cabin." He was in his cabin. Of course, he would not think it's an iceberg.
Like, I may be wrong about this, but like, I'm pretty sure he, like, from the sheer shock of like the entire situation of literally being on the Titanic and having to jump off the Titanic and be rescued by one of the Titanic's lifeboats, that you could have like suffered from like, I guess you could say like hypothermia-induced amnesia, essentially, like just losing your memory slightly.
Exactly. Like, I feel like him with him having this entire memory loss thing hitting his head and stuff, he shouldn't be very credible for saying that it wasn't an iceberg. Oh, and also notice something, that there with these well-end davits, there's just one well-end davit there, and there's not another one. And right here, there's one well-end davit for this lifeboat, but not another one there.
There's like a massive lifeboat that's like spans from one funnel to another.
Yeah. Well, the lifeboats were quite long, but I don't know about that long.
Not that long.
Not that long.
It could have been a fire, and quite a lot of people actually believe that theory,
Oh boy.
saying that coal was burning in the ship's hull.
Okay,
Okay.
where do I start here? I think everyone knows that this theory is false. I could say that it definitely impacted, the coal fire definitely impacted the sinking, but not how you would imagine. Not that it actually caused the ship to sink. It just,
transferred the coal.
they transferred the coal to the port side, so during the sinking, even though she had hit the iceberg on the starboard side, but near the, when the water started to even out in the boiler rooms, the ship started to list to the port side.
Yeah.
That's why you hear before she hit the iceberg, she had a -3 degree port list.
Like, how thick was the steel plating on Titanic?
I think half an inch. Probably half an inch or an inch.
Half an inch. I use metric system, but yeah. And it's steel, which requires a very high melting point, so I doubt that like a coal fire.
An inch is basically, you know, when you curl your finger up into like kind of like a square. An inch is how long that the top square is, or the top side of the square is, basically.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah. So half.
Fucking thick.
Yeah. So about half of that. So it's pretty. Yeah. Oh gosh. I'm not even gonna talk about that. Yeah, they put it out, definitely. They put it out very early into the sinking.
You're surrounded
or very early into the voyage.
Like, if you're surrounded by the North Atlantic Ocean and can't put out a coal fire, then you're fucking useless.
You're useless.
Coal so much, it couldn't survive its meeting with the iceberg. Supporters of this theory use pictures of the Titanic leaving the docks for evidence, pointing to a huge dark mark on the hull.
Of course, the ship. Not only is that photoshopped, but also this is a photo of her in the gantry when she was still a shell.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact about this photo: that Titanic that is written onto the photo. Most pictures you see of with Titanic's nameplate on them are just, you know, they're drawn onto the ship because you can't really see them that well.
I'd imagine so. Like, yeah. So it's like Titanic's like being constructed and is then going to be launched. Like, there's no conceivable way you could call even a ship that was fully built, which also sank when it was launched. The Principessa Yolanda didn't have coal in it when it was being launched.
And also notice that this is on obviously this is like done by Brightside. I'm pretty sure this is probably just like a random but still this is on the port side, and it's also nowhere near a boiler room.
There was a German U-boat involved in the
Oh
sinking
yes,
of the Titanic.
that doesn't really look like a U-boat. Like the exact search term I use when putting up German U-boats for my video.
I know what German U-boats look like because I've studied the Lusitania.
Yeah.
They genuinely look like small boats.
They are. Obviously,
Yeah,
yet again, this is so nitpicky. Since you look at the Titanic model, it looks like this, and the yeah, it doesn't really matter. But it's
Yeah,
just I love
the thing is that,
nitpicking.
like, what I'm saying is that, look, yeah, I don't study wars. I study ancient Egypt and some ocean liners, but I'm pretty sure that World War One started in 1914, not
Yeah.
1912.
Yeah. And U-boats didn't even have the capability to go that far that early. They couldn't. In World War II, I'm pretty confident that there were U-boats that were in the Outer Banks, and sunk several ships, and even one made it into New York Harbor. But yeah.
Who mentioned they heard explosion sounds coming from somewhere deep in the bowels of the ship.
Iceberg.
And they'd also claimed they'd
That's
seen a
also not really
searchlight
shipwreck.
coming from some ship shortly after Titanic had sunk. It wasn't a
Probably the
vessel hurrying to the rescue,
Carpathia.
so it could have actually.
They're saying like there's a light that wasn't of a rescue ship. Like maybe it was the far of Carpathia. Like,
Or maybe it was
another
the
light
Californian.
guy with a lantern. Yes, the California, which was literally in like eye shot, I believe.
Yeah,
Like,
at one
very
point.
basic eye shot.
It was stopped during the sinking because surrounded by ice. So maybe you just think about the lights of the Californian, maybe, or what the lights you're seeing.
I believe that the Californian is involved with the switch theory, and I'm not even gonna go.
Yeah, let's not go into that. I'm not. No, thank you. Not now.
This theory is highly unlikely, though, for several reasons.
Thank you. At least you're not that crazy.
As you know, the Titanic sank in 1912, which was still a time of peace. No country in the world would dare to kill thousands of people and provoke other countries for no reason.
Nazi Germany.
Secondly, a U-boat from Europe couldn't have gone that day.
I didn't know this was World War II.
Basically impossible in 1912. It's hard to tell what could have made a man who survived such a tragedy remember things that did or didn't happen. Let's hope that
Probably
in the
because
future,
he had a
scientists will be able
concussion.
to explain all the mysteries.
And yeah, usually survivor accounts are not the most reliable. Like every single survivor on Titanic said different things. They all had different versions of events.
So,
Oh.
you believe an explosion might
That
have
reminds me of
The
the
Normandy.
Transylvania 3.
If you learned something new today, then give this video a like.
Nope, I did not learn. I mean, I learned that the story is a hoax. That's all I learned. Okay, where's the one that I was talking about? What if it never sank? This one. Ooh, gosh, there are so many great ones, but this. Okay, I just want to go into the one here. I just want to go into the one that I was talking. Just show you what I was talking about, because this video is not interesting enough. Grammarly. No.
North Atlantic is still
Okay, here we are. Look at this. This is the Carpathia. This is the Carpathia. Duh. Titanic. Titanic. Look at that. Let's look at the superstructure. It's fine right here, and then it just goes. What's that? It's.
No, there's meant to be superstructure islands.
That was very fun.
At least they got the funnel color right.
Yeah, at least have the funnel color right. Look, it looks like the ship has just been launched. You just have the bow like that. Oh my gosh, she must be high riding like Olympic.
It looks like the Raise the Titanic model because of the one funnel.
Well, on the Raise to Titanic, there's only, I believe it's only the second funnel that's missing, because apparently, there's this deleted footage from the movie where the funnel, the second funnel explodes or something.
But for me, it reminds me of the Raise the Titanic model because probably of how bad.
By the way, I'm not doing a Raise to Titanic or Lusitania video review. I might do a Night to Remember, but that's because that movie is actually enjoyable. I'm definitely, yeah.
1912.
Ah, look at that.
Cold evening, somewhere in the North Atlantic, on board the most modern and unsinkable ship, the Titanic.
Not
the dinner.
unsinkable.
Unsinkable ship.
Wait, pause quickly. This is my forte. They showed a picture of the pyramids because, fuck, they're the most famous thing in ancient Egypt, and about 1000 BC. But I just wanted to point out, anyone who may not know, the pyramids were much older because it was from 1000 BC. The pyramids, then it would be 2000 years old. The pyramids are 4000 years old. They're from the Old Kingdom. There's 3 periods in ancient Egypt: the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom. And they're literally like so old.
Yeah, they are very old.
So who the fuck is this very Western-looking woman? Like,
I don't know.
to explain how fragile Titanic is, think of when you wet paper, like normal paper. So say you made like a crude Titanic, like bow section out of paper, or paper like, and I'm not like normal paper, but like maybe even like card, so it keeps its shape. It's still extremely fragile, and say your finger's the size of that hook. When you touch it, you go straight through the paper because it's wet paper.
Yeah.
And that is how fragile Titanic.
Yet again, if you try to raise it with a hook, this goes back into the thing. Titanic's too weak. You're probably just gonna rip up the ship.
Yo. And again,
Let's say
as the
you
many times
created
you said, it'll just
Next,
disintegrate.
you're on a huge cruiser, sailing up to the crash site and lowering the hook down like an anchor. It falls right on the Titanic
And breaks through the ship.
So that's
more than 50.
I forgot what kind of anchor it is. That's not a hook, it's an anchor.
That's definitely an anchor.
It's a let me just
It's not. He says it's like an anchor. It's definitely not like an anchor. It is an anchor. That is an anchor.
So I put on a comment on the Ship Enthusiast video on why the Britannic sucks, or the Britannic movie. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
What are you saying? That's not okay.
Yeah. And so, and essentially, I said that I can do better rainbowing than what the Britannic movie did. Now, somebody said, like, sure, because this is currently 2022.
Oh gosh.
And even though you need to understand when it comes to CGI.
Oh gosh. Here we go into Britannic movie again.
Sorry, this video is going to contain a lot of tangents. You going on a tangent, I can.
It's fine. Don't worry. I'll edit it and I'll make it so only the cool stuff or only the funny things go in. This video will probably only be maybe like 20 minutes at most. Don't worry. No, you'll be in the video. You'll be in the video. Don't worry.
Now, when Titanic was made, a lot of those sinking things and the sinking scenes in James Cameron's Titanic, they had these massive life-size sets of the Titanic, which is crazy. Another method that they used to create the CGI of the breakup and the sinking was to have things that are known as bigatures, which are, as the name says, just big models. Like, not massive life-size models, but rather large models that are very detailed. And essentially, you can use a camera and pan it around, and then you can get footage of the ocean, and then footage of wakes. And essentially, with the technology that was in the, what was it, the 80s or 90s when the movie was released?
The 90s.
The 90s.
Well, which one? Titanic or Britannic?
Titanic.
Yeah,
Titanic.
90s, late 90s.
Essentially, what you could do is that you could splice all that footage and put it together, and and that's what they did for Titanic to make scenes look coherent. Like, sure, and I'm talking about the scene that is infamous for having plasticky-looking figures when the ship pans over the deck. But what I'm saying is that they could have done way better in terms of using bigature models to essentially, as I said, make a more coherent looking CGI than what was produced. Another thing is that it's so unsharp, the CGI has this constant blur on it, and it looks...
Only people who didn't come from TikTok are worthy of liking this. If this is true, won't there be records of mummies being in the cargo bay? Well, they said it would be in the... Exactly, that's this theory. They say, of course it's not going to be recorded on the cargo bay because it's going to be in the captain's quarters.
Because apparently, to be quite serious,
oh no! Right side knows everything and I dig it. That's not... Oh my... I remember I said there was a mummy on board in the book I Survived the Sinking of the Titanic. A legend says the guy who wrote this script went missing. That's a meme. All because of I bet, like, where's... okay. I love this.
I'm gonna be very crass in here, so I'm gonna give you permission to cut it out. But I do have to say, if there was actually a mummy of a woman in the captain's cabin for a couple nights.
Whoa. What's wrong with you? I think that's it. I think you guys get the idea. I hope you guys maybe enjoyed this really crazy and out of order or out of whack video. I'm probably never gonna do something like this again, but hopefully you enjoyed it.
We'll only do this. Look, if I'm gonna be completely honest, like, if this is popular, then we'll probably do something similar.
If this is popular, we might do something similar. Probably not. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes.